Welcome to my second video on YouTube about my secret project. Why is it called Secret Project? Because when I was coming up with a name for this, I just thought it sounded fun. Um, so I have been posting, I will say, every day on TikTok and Instagram. I just been posting, usually once a day, about my world count. So if you want more updates like that, then I would suggest you go to one of the two. More likely TikTok, but they're basically the same video. So whatever one you want is cool. Or if you don't want to, that's also cool. You can have the longer videos here. Um, so 7 days ago, last week, I made my first video. And I came in all like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I came in with 11,524 volts. So, if you were on the TikTok or Instagram, you would know that this week has been a week. Um, let's talk about it. So, day 8, day 9. We're making some progress. Like everything is fun. I'm loving it. Um, At the end of day 9, I had 14,302 wolves. Day 8 and day 9, I wrote over 1,000 wolves. Right, so you might be thinking, oh, okay, so we should be at 14,000, right? Or actually, we should be higher than that because it is now day 15 when you're watching this. I have not wrote anything for day 15. I immediately stopped once it hit midnight and I'm recording this. But you would unfortunately, if you think that I should be at more than 15,000 rolls, would be wrong and do not watch the previous videos. That's okay. I'll tell you what happened. Let me tell you how all this started. I went to sleep, day 9, everything fun. I was sleeping away. I wake up. I had this feeling. I don't think a character that I've been writing in almost every scene should be there. So I realized he shouldn't be in a story, and I have a character that I kept on trying to struggle to figure out where did his story go? What am I supposed to like have him be doing here? And then I realized the reason why I'm not like I can't figure out what to do with his character is because his character shouldn't exist. So day 10, I start revisions because his character is in many chapters. Well, not anymore. We'll get to that. So revisions, because I'm like, this fundamentally changes the story, so I have to do revisions, even though I know you shouldn't touch your false draft. So, at the end of day 10, I had lost 2,852 words. But in my mind, I was just like, you know what, this is good because it gives me these words later on. As I have established, right, day 10, revision started. It's technically now day 11, and because it's after midnight, and I don't want to write a specific character's point of view on something. I don't want to do it, so I decide then when I wake up, or the next day, like when I wake up, I will finish it. But I didn't want to do it, right? I'm gonna sleep. I woke up, and then I had the thought, does this character need to be a point of view character? What does this character add to the story that my like main point of view character, like the I would say she's a like false main character. And then like there was more, but like I would say she's like the primary, right? FMC. What is this character adding that needs to be there? And I realized everything that I was like having him do or having him learn, I could have her alone, and it will just like be less babying, if that makes sense. Where it's like if you pick up on how looking at like basically if you have media literacy, like you should see things because this character shouldn't learn about things until later on. And then it also just removes all the like repeating later on. Like one character learns one thing, and then if they're not together, then they'll have to find out some way, right? So I want to state what I am talking about is removing 50% of what I wrote because I was going back and forth between this character and then the character I wanted to remove. Then this character, like, and going back and forth, right? And on top of that, I was still removing the character. I was like, he shouldn't be in the story. Like, he doesn't exist. With all of that, I kept on thinking, well, almost every time that I go to write the story, I think it should be in first person, not third. Almost every single time. So I just thought, well, since I'm basically rewriting the story anyways and starting from scratch, what if I just actually start from scratch and write it in the other point of view and see if I like it better? I like it better. So basically, day 11, I deleted everything that I wrote and started at 0. I deleted 10,100 words. If you're like, you had 11,000, that's because I managed to write 1,850 words that day. Now, that is low because I decided for the majority of the day to step back and kind of re-examine all the characters. I already knew when I was writing these characters that all the names I had were placeholders. I knew that none of those names that I was writing were their actual names, but I needed some names. I needed to at least get the story down. So that day, I decided to figure out everyone's names. I also went on Pinterest, and I know it's funny because I said that um, I didn't know how I felt on it. So basically, I started from scratch. Day 12, I wrote another 2,000 words, specifically 2,783. So at the end of day 12, it was 4,133 words. Day 13, I have more progress with 7,278 words total. So I wrote over 3,000 words. You know what I'm about to tell you. I woke up the next day, day 14, and I just kept on thinking, I don't think that's how characters would like be introduced. So I did write a lot for day 14. Not as much as I would have. It was a not really writing day, but the problem was is I actively changed a like whole scene. It did not go down. It did not go down. Let me say that. It just barely went up. So I'm at, as of recording this video, 7,434 volts, making the word count go up by only 156. My gosh. Like we used to I believe be at like 15. I'm pretty sure I was at 15,000 before I actually started doing revisions, but officially the last word count was 13. Listen, like I know I'm kind of being like a bit dramatic, being like, oh, I'm not that upset. I'll say it. Like I know I need to have the worlds go up, but how I'm viewing it is it was already going to change. It was already it was going to have to change already. And this is just giving me more worlds for later on. Like like these worlds were already going to have to go. And me realizing now that a character should change or like the scene that I wrote the night before I went to sleep is not how the scene should actually go. It's better than realizing it when like I'm nearly done with the book or like with the full draft or stuff like that. Like it's better that it's happening now. Just like it's better that I realize that these characters either should not be point of view characters or shouldn't be in the book than having to do it with a full manuscript. Like way better. It's saving me the words now so I can use them later. So I'm not really that upset. Interest is private, like the boards of this. So even though I did say like, oh, you can technically like, oh, I've been using it. You can't go and see it because it's private. But if you want more updates, then I would suggest either TikTok or Instagram. Whatever you feel like you want. If you only want these updates, that's all good. That's okay because I'm like explaining it in one go. Um, I will say I'm more explanatory. Um, but if something comes up, I usually do say like, hey, something came up. Um, from what I have done math for, I should be able to meet my goal. It's just closer to 1,000 words a day than it was initially. But that's okay. Um, and the reason why I keep on like editing it is at the point in which I am at, right? And the point in which I realize about this character is kind of like the false like big change, right? It's like okay, this is done and now we're over here. Like so I really my brain wants to make sure that the false like hurdle that we're getting over or like the first part like I really was on exposition but like that whole area I want it to be good. And by good, I mean I want it to actually, I don't know, be decent. So that way I don't have to like necessarily fix it later. Whole family has changed so much. I'll say that now. I also realized this week that I am writing a hero's journey. I think that's why the whole family is continuously changing and how things are coming about is changing because I didn't realize when I started this that no, technically this is just a hero's journey, which that's fun. We love hero's journeys, especially for fantasy. But yeah, okay. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Goodbye.